Infrastructure is no longer a monolithic single use case. It's a complex socio-economic environment, and it needs to serve much more than utility. Striatus is the prime exemplar of integrated digital design, robotic manufacturing, and agile construction. This is a prototype and a reference project at the forefront of architecture and construction. Striatus is representative of certain attitude to ecological responsibility of design, not just reducing material, but using it in most effective ways so that it has a longer lifespan.
We immediately responded to the call from ECC, which was focused on the sustainability and the climate crisis. The Striatus works like the Roman arch bridges, large pieces of stone that are cut orthogonal to the main force flow. But then when you zoom in to the block, you see that the 3D printed layers are also aligned to the force flow. If you understand the structural geometry, then you can make these 3D printed components shine. You can use them directly as a structural component and not just as a glorified formwork.
Concrete is very good with compression, but doesn't like tension. If you focus on the pure qualities of concrete, you can also express this within the design. We used new mix of material. So the concrete inks was really specially developed with the lab guys of Holcim. Our goal was really to have delicate output. Each of the 53 individual blocks were printed in specific point conditions. Every point within the printing path had its specific information because we printed in inclined planes. We don't only print in horizontal layers. The idea was really to align the layers perpendicular to the force flows.
Masonry logic for me also means that you can assemble something without glue, without connections. Things click in place naturally because they have the right geometry. If you indeed place material only in compression and then in tension, that discipline gives a very easy end-of-life scenario for clean recyclability, low energy, and so on. By reintroducing these principles from the past, really disruptive changes are possible. I'm talking about material savings of 70% of less concrete or 90% less steel. This would really help us build more responsibly and significantly more sustainable.
This new language of concrete is not monolithic, it's very lightweight, it's striated. The new language of concrete wants to demonstrate first and foremost the strength through shape rather than strength through high-performance concrete itself.
We actually also rethink the authorship, we rethink how we collaborate in order to understand all the constraints and bring all this expertise in from the beginning. This bridge is a beautiful demonstration of a novel way of doing design.
It was not a linear workflow, and that's the true innovation within this project. It's a collaborative work between people who know what they do and who know their craft.
Any structure only becomes architecture when it's used by the general public. We have done a technologically oriented demonstrator, but naturally people started using it. And as soon as I came here and I could see like dogs running on top and children running around, it was one of those rewarding moments. These technologies are genuinely maturing to the point that we can handle the complexity of the technology of structural engineering, of material engineering. We now know for sure these kind of technologies are ready for the mainstream.
Somehow it's a look in the future in terms of how we use material, how material efficient we are, how future craftsmanship could look like in terms of the fabrication of like the concrete blocks.
What we are showing is actually an extremely sustainable and also scalable way forward that uses concrete as a solution. The cement and concrete industry will have to shift from volume selling to value selling, performance selling. Recently, I've had an opportunity to learn much more about the inner workings of Holcim. They are pushing an agenda for the entire industry segment. They're really ahead of the curve of setting the right sustainability targets.